Cell Communication by Kaitlyn Martinez. One way for them to communicate is through direct contact. In this photo, it has two of the signaling that I would talk about. One is paracrine signaling. It's for cells to locally communicate. So it's when cells give off signals that only nearby cells can hear because it needs to be really rapid information that they need to find out. Endocrine is when cells send signals through multicellular organisms. Hormones that are in one part of the body target the rest of the body. Signal transduction pathway is a bunch of molecular interactions that basically tells the cell how to respond to the signals. It's basically like the cell is playing the game telephone, so it's first the signal, and then the receptor, and the proteins or other second messengers, and finally the cellular response as a result. Ligands are the first messengers. They are hydrophilic and hydrophobic. Then there's the receptor proteins. They have binding sites for signaling the molecules. When they begin, a series of reactions activates. Then you get the cellular response. So gated ion receptors are just proteins that have gated channels, and it opens or closes when it gets a specific signal. Ligand-gated receptors respond when they have a molecular signal. There are also voltage-gated ion receptors, and they just respond to voltage differences. So the ion receptor receives a signal to open or to close. Sorry, I didn't mean to circle that. But anyways, the ions pass through, and then it goes into the membrane, and it gets the signal. Now to talk about G-protein coupled receptors. So these receptors activates a G-protein. Oh my gosh. This triggers a cellular response and activates a second messenger. It has a GTP attached to it, and it functions just like an ATP, but it uses guanine instead of adenine. So step 1, they receive the signal, and then step 2, it's activated, and they get the G protein by exchanging GTP for GDB. And then step 3, it binds the effector protein. Step 4, it initiates a response and the channels open, and then ions flow out. Protein kinase receptors are basically receptors that have a transmembrane protein enzyme. They are kinases or kinases, whatever. They're enzymes that add a phosphate group to a protein. So basically the little phosphates are right here, and they're added.